Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to my live stream today. My name is Nazarah Merah. If you haven't been here before, I'm so excited to have you. I'm going to wait a couple moments and see if anybody's going to be joining in with us live. So today is day one of our 99 days to irreversible self-realization, and I am so thrilled to be a part of this with you guys. I'm so thrilled. I'm so excited about this. I feel what we're doing. I feel what we're creating. I feel how powerful this is for our planet at this time and for all of us individually. And I'm just in the bliss of that. I'm just in the excitement of that and just feeling that so strong. And I'm so happy that you guys are so excited about this too. And we're exploring self-realization in new and creative ways. I really want you guys to see and experience like life how I experience it. Because it's a different way of being. It's a different way of life altogether. It's a totally different paradigm. It's a totally different way of living and being altogether that we haven't been doing on this planet. And it's so natural and normal. It's not this weird thing, you know. It's just so natural and normal, but we're just getting out of these old stages of consciousness that we believed so strong were like the truth of reality. That's what we're doing with this. We're just getting out of basically all the mental containers that we've been stuck in and believing that that's how life really is. And we were believing that and experiencing life that way just so we could have a very particular, very heavy kind of experience of being a person. So now we're really in this major evolution, major evolution, you guys. And I don't know if you guys see the big picture of this or not. You know, I see it so clearly. So I try to convey it to you guys, and I know that maybe some of you guys can't really see the bigger picture yet because there's still a lot of lack beliefs that are in your mind-body system that are being released now. So that's what this program is about, because I want you guys to see this big picture of what we are doing for this whole planet. What we're doing for our own individual lives, and how like epic and much more amazing our lives are going to be individually, and how that is going to profoundly affect the whole planet. Seriously, I'm not joking. Like, this is so powerful what we're doing, and the person mind won't perceive it that way. It won't, because it always feels so limited and lacking and small, and it doesn't really know how infinitely powerful you are, how infinitely powerful your focus and your concentration is, how infinitely powerful your presence is. The person mind can't even perceive it, has no idea. Actually, it has a lot of ideas, and that's the problem. But they're all the wrong ideas. So we're trying to get out of all these ideas, basically, all together. That's what we're trying to do, so we can actually just experience what's really here, what this reality actually is, and how profound it actually is. Because life really is so blissful and light. It really is. It's so simple, and it's so blissful, and it's so light. It always is. It really is. And some moments I know that there's heavy things that come up. And when those heavy things are coming up, that's just these old thoughts and ideas that we were playing out from the person mind that are being basically purged out. That's it. That's the only reason why you experience it that way. Because you have to like release that character, those ideas and those beliefs of that old person that you were playing out before, so you can actually feel your true self, feel the lightness that you are, feel your core frequency, the core of what we are together as existence, as consciousness. It's so playful and light, what we are. It is. It's the core of what we are, and you are this in every single moment. You are this. You are this lightness. You are this playfulness. And it's like so deep in presence. Because if you feel what existence actually is, you guys, if you feel like when you close your eyes, you can kind of get a sense of this. Because when the eyes are open, sometimes the mind will start to like have these ideas of like, oh, this is that and this is that. And it has all these ideas about what it thinks you're perceiving. But that's always just been imagination, you see? All those ideas have just been imagination. They have. The person mind doesn't want to believe that. But that's why the person mind is so miserable. Your actual self, you are literally in every single thing that you can perceive with your eyes. You are in that. That's where you are. You are as much in anything that you can perceive in your experience right now with your physical eyes. You are as much in those things as you are in your body. You're in every single thing. Every single thing that is existing. Every single thing. Like this, I'm in here. This is where I'm at. I'm in this. I'm right here, right now. That's where I'm at. And there's just a body that's talking. And there's just thoughts and ideas that I'm in this body. But I'm not. I'm in everything. I'm in every single thing. And that's what you are too. You're in every single thing. In every single moment. So I want you to start experiencing this. This is the truth of reality. This is what it is. You are in everything. Your consciousness, you're in every single thing. And there's just these ideas and thoughts that have just been coming up again and again. I'm just a person. This is just my life. I got to go to work. I got to do all... Like, those are all imagination. That's all imagination. It is. It feels like a very strong imagination. Because you've been believing it for so long. But it's still just imagination. So we're really trying to feel everything in a new way, basically. In a new way for the person mind. Because the person mind hasn't experienced existence of what you are, that you are in everything, and how profoundly magical and surreal this reality is in every single moment. Every single thing is one with you. Every single thing you're seeing in your experience, in your reality is one with you. It's part of your body. And it's being pulled in to synchronize with you because it wants to play with you. It wants to have a play with you. Every single thing wants to have a play with you. It wants to be in a play. It's part of your body. And so you're imagining these things, and you're imagining that they're separate things to have a play. And it's every single thing, like every single thing in existence. And how you can actually start to really see this and feel the playfulness of it is usually you start to feel it really strong when you kind of get around like animals, or you get around plants, or you get in nature, or you get outside. Because then, I don't know, there's kind of a sense that I get. You can get anywhere, because you can get it from, I've noticed like with the elements, you can get it really strongly too. Like with water, you can start to get this like sense, because there's, or fire too. Or the earth, you can get these senses, or the wind, you can get these senses a little bit more palpable in some ways. You're always in everything, but you can kind of feel how they're actually playing with you. all of these things. Like all the elements, they're always playing with you. They're playing with you. They're playing with you if you would start to notice. If you would start to notice how everything wants to play. Every single thing in existence wants to play with you. Because everything is you. And the core frequency of all of existence is so playful and light and curious. So if you started to like feel this just frequency within yourself, you got really present in these moments throughout your day, and you just really went deep to like feeling like you don't know anything about anything. And it can help sometimes to close your eyes, because when you start closing your eyes, then you actually kind of get into more of the feeling state instead of the conceptual mind thinking state. We're trying to drop into the feeling state. I want you to get a sense of something for just a moment. I want you to really feel into this, because there's a lot of ideas that the mind has about what this reality is. A lot of concepts and a lot of imaginations, and you've been believing them so strong. But when you feel this feeling of what source energy is, source energy, the source of all energy, the source of every single thing in existence. That's the core of what you are. In every single moment, that's what you are. So every single thing that you can perceive in your experience, every single thing is source energy. That's what you are. Okay, and how source energy experiences things, what you are, isn't through thoughts and ideas and concepts and stories. Those are all just imagination. Everything is experience, because everything is just the one thing that you are. So everything is experienced as a feeling state, as a felt sense, vibrationally. Feeling, how you're feeling it, like a sensorial kind of feeling sense to it. So that's how you want to start exploring this world again. So you can start accessing your power back, because you start to feel yourself as source energy through experiencing yourself that way. So like close your eyes and just feel like the words that I'm saying right now. There isn't a person there. There isn't bodies here. These are just sounds, and there's just sounds. And then there's a felt sense that those sounds are giving you. They're giving you a felt sense of something, because it's a feeling sense. And it's part of your body. Those sounds, every single thing, you're actually feeling it because you're one with it. It's part of your being. That space that you feel around you, around the body, that space is where you are. You're in everything. You're there. So anything you hear in the space, you're doing that. Syncing with you, syncing with your person, syncing with your body, every single thing. You're placing it there, right here, right now. You're placing it. You're creating it right here, right now. You're creating it all. You're imagining it all. Can you fall into it? Can you fall into this feeling state, this felt sense of everything? That you don't know what anything is? You don't know. You don't know what it is. Just feel it and experience it. Experience what's here in this moment right now. Experience it all like you have no idea what it is whatsoever. feel how everything wants to start playing with you. Everything does. So there'll be a sound that'll come up all of a sudden. There'll be a sensation maybe. There'll be something. And if you didn't believe that that had anything to do with you in a personal way, any sensation, any thought, it would just be something that's in the space of you. It's just source energy. You are popping up little things all over. Oh, here's a thought. Oh, here's a sensation. Oh, here's a sound. Oh, here's a little animal that's going to come and greet you. Oh, here's a plant that's going to be here. It's just like popping. You're popping all these things into to have a play with yourself. So be playful. Be playful. Experience it. What does it want to show you? What wants to play with you right now? What kind of play are you creating? Are you creating a play about a person who's talking and saying, I don't get what this is about. I don't feel anything. Are you creating that kind of play? Are you believing that play? Are you believing you're those thoughts? It's okay if they come up. Thoughts are okay if they come up. It's okay. It's okay. They're just coming up in the space. It's like part of the play. It's like, oh, here, we're going to try this. Oh, what about this? Oh, what about this? Oh, what about this? And you're just realizing, oh, that's in front of me. I'm source energy. I'm creating this play. I'm a whole field of energy. That's actually the truth of what I am. I'm a field of energy of all of existence. That's actually what you are. Everything's just happening within you. So experience it. Like, experience the physical body even. Like, what do you feel in there? Don't know what it is. Don't have an idea what it is. You don't know anything. None of it means absolutely anything. It's all just one energy field of you, with different frequencies that you're placing, and then you're imagining that that is something by having an idea about it in a mind that you've imagined. And you imagine that you have a body, and you imagine that there's a mind, and you imagine all these things. You're imagining it. You are imagining it in every moment. So like, get really present. What are you imagining right now? What does it feel like? What is this? What is this? What is this reality? It is such a trip. It really is. This experience is such a trip. If you get out of the imaginations of being a person and just get some space from it, just see that that whole sense of I'm a person and this is a world and I know what this is, that's all a very strong imagination. You don't know anything. You don't. So let it show itself to you. Let it tell you what it is through feeling it. Feel it. And you can bring this into so many moments in your day while you're doing anything. You know, just like close your eyes and like realize that you're imagining whatever it is that's going on. Like just get really present and close your eyes and just feel what's in the space with you. What's in the space with you? What are you creating right now? What are you imagining right now? And it's okay if thoughts come up. It's okay. It's all right. They're not affecting you unless you start believing them, no matter what they say. They might be like, no, there's thoughts coming up. Thoughts shouldn't be coming up. I'm supposed to be sitting here meditating. That's a huge imagination. That's an imagination too. You're not a person, you see? You're not. There's just an imagination that you are. And then there's just thoughts that are saying that you're a person trying to get somewhere and trying to self-realize yourself. So you start to see, when you see that everything's an imagination, you start to see how you get to create the imagination of how you want it to feel. How do you want this imagination to feel right now? Because you are the source of every frequency. You're the source. You're the source of every frequency. And you don't need to even have a thought about what the frequency is. You just feel it. You can feel it within yourself when you realize, oh, I'm the source of these frequencies. I can feel any frequency I want right now. I just close my eyes and be in my imagination and just feel that frequency right now. I just feel it, and I just be in the bliss of it. The deeper you go with this, you'll start to feel that things are syncing with you. You'll start to feel this. And you can really feel it. This is why it's fun to kind of get outside. If you're able to get outside, because you'll start to feel it when you go and you just start closing your eyes and you start feeling everything in a deep state of presence. And you could do this just for a few moments, but you sit and you could just feel, you start hearing things. You start hearing the wind, you start hearing plants, you start hearing birds, you start hearing different things, people moving around. You start hearing things. Just like listen and close your eyes and just go deep with it. Realize you're imagining all of it. So listen, what is it? What is this play that you're creating right now? What is it? Get really curious about it. Really curious. You don't know anything about anything. You don't. You're trying to show it to yourself, but you have to pay attention. You're trying to reveal something really profound and magical to yourself in every moment. You are. But you have to pay attention. Every single thing is syncing with you. Even other people around, they're syncing with you. They are. They're syncing with your frequency. They're syncing with you. So if you start to get this sense of this deep state of presence that you always are, and that you are the space, and you're actually creating every skit, every moment that you have an interaction with somebody, it's like a pop-up skit. You're creating it. You pulled it together. It could be your family, it could be your kids. Oh, here's a skit. We're going to play this skit right now. And you are creating it. So listen, what is this? What's going on? What are you revealing to yourself right now? Can you really listen like you don't know anything about anything? What are you telling yourself? Can you feel yourself in the words that somebody is saying to you? You are that energy. There's not actually words there. There's no such thing as words. There's no words as an idea. There's nothing. It's just all one thing. It's all one energy field of you. And it's all imagination. It's your body. You're creating it. Your whole body is all of this existence, all of this reality. So feel that. Feel that. Start to feel that. You always are this. And you can start to get a sense of this when you start to really tune in and feel in a very curious way, very open, very curious. You don't know anything about anything. You don't know anything at all. You've just been imagining things. And if you want to get out of those old imaginations and start to really feel a deeper sense of presence, a deeper sense of your own innate power, a deeper sense of your own innate playfulness, then you gotta really listen. Listen. Keep feeling yourself as the silence underneath everything. You're the silence underneath it all. So it doesn't matter if a thought comes up. It's okay. You're the silence underneath it. Just realize that when it comes up, it's not affecting you. It has no effect on you. Doesn't mean anything. It's just an imagination. All of life is one with you. It wants to draw you in. It wants to draw you into experiencing a deeper experience of what's really going on. A deeper, more subtle imagination that you weren't seeing before. You weren't seeing it before. You weren't. You weren't paying attention. So we're reconnecting with all of ourselves, all of it, every single thing. We want to reconnect with it all. We want to feel it all. We want to explore it all through just experiencing it all and experiencing ourselves as the silence that's holding all of it. Then you're just feeling this kind of sensorial experience in a way. And if something comes up that feels kind of heavy or feels like, you can just breathe it out. You can use the body and just let it go and feel yourself again. feel how the breath is so powerful to help you feel yourself. Creates that space every time you take a deep breath. Creating more space in the mind and the body. You're letting something go with the exhale. So you get lighter with every breath that you take in that way. Then you can feel yourself again in a deeper way at the end of every exhale. Just starting to notice in these present moments, like, where is your awareness? Where is it? Where is the awareness of the mind? Like, where is it going? Where is it going? And it's okay if it's going somewhere. It's okay if it's like, oh, there's a thought that came up. Oh, there's a sound. Oh, there's that. It's okay about all those things. It's okay. It's okay. But you're just realizing you're seeing that. You are seeing that. You're seeing it. You're seeing how the mind just moved. Oh, the mind moved because it heard a sound. Oh, the mind moved because it saw something over there. Oh, I saw that. I saw the mind being moved there. I saw that. Because you're not in this body, you're everything. You're in the whole thing. So you're seeing these things. You're seeing it. So we're just realizing that we're seeing it again and again and again and again and again. We're realizing it. We're realizing, oh, I'm seeing that. Oh, I'm seeing that. Oh, I'm seeing the thought. I'm seeing that. Oh, I'm seeing the mind had this thought. Oh, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. I'm the one seeing it. I'm seeing it. It's just happening in the space of you. That's not what you are. You're seeing it. And you can use your imagination to pull in any frequency you want. You see, when you're in these moments of really feeling what's going on, notice what frequency you're feeling. What feeling state are you in? What feeling state? Are you in a light feeling state of ease? Can you find that frequency of ease first? Just feel ease, and then you just start to feel the presence in that frequency of ease. Because you always are the presence. You always are. And whatever frequency that your mind body is emitting, it's kind of vibrating that out into the space of you. So you get to tune your mind body dial to the frequency of presence that you want to feel. You get to tune it. So if you're feeling presence, but it's feeling heavy and it's feeling hard and it's feel efforting, well, you're creating that. You're creating that frequency of presence. You can create any frequency of presence you want. And maybe it's helpful to say a word that will help you feel that feeling state at first, so you can remember, oh, I'm the source of it. Sometimes it can be helpful to say a word, like you can say the word ease. And if you notice when you actually really feel that that frequency, when you feel that, your mind and body will just kind of release and they soften. And then you have this kind of pause where you'll feel this spaciousness of what you are. You feel yourself as the space. Because these frequencies that are lighter, it feels so nice to stay in the space with the frequencies that are light. It feels so nice. So you stay in the space longer. You just can be in the kind of feeling. Or you could be in presence. You get to create the field of presence. You're the presence, you always are the space, you see? So you're creating the field of presence in any frequency you want. Your source energy, your field of energy, that's what you are. So you're just deciding what frequency of presence you want to be in. And I'm trying to show you this because perhaps you've been feeling presence before and it's been feeling like, oh my God. It's been feeling heavy. You've been feeling presence and it's been feeling heavy. Like there wasn't any thoughts, but it was feeling heavy. It didn't feel good. Well, you're creating that. You're the source. You're the source. You can create any frequency of presence you want. And the ones that feel lighter, it's like you want to, your mind-body system wants to stay there. It wants to stay there when they feel lighter. They just want to stay there longer because it feels so good. And the ones that feel heavy, they don't want to stay there. So then you'll start to feel like more thoughts will start bubbling up in the space. Because it's like, no, I don't want to feel this way. But you are still always the space. You're the space even when that's happening. You see? You're the space. So no matter what's happening to that mind-body system or what it's doing, it's okay. You're still the space of it. So you're just kind of realizing moment to moment, oh, I'm the space that's happening within. I'm the space. And you keep having to realize it sometimes again and again. Because the thoughts might come up again and again. Like, no, this feels bad. No, this. And those are all imaginations. It's just imaginations happening in the space of you. But you can tune your frequency of presence to whatever frequency you want. You're the source. You're the source of all frequencies. So we're learning through this presence practice too, how to access our power of presence by realizing we're the source of all frequencies of presence. We're the source. So then we can start enjoying presence more. We can enjoy presence. We have the power to enjoy presence. We can. And I know you guys may have heard of this practice that I had shared before about awareness, aware of awareness. And I realized that can be maybe it's something that seems like you can understand it. And I think sometimes it could sound a little confusing too, because it sounds like there's a lot of steps and what's awareness. And so I want to kind of give you a new introduction to that so you can see it in a new way. Okay, because this has always been what you are. You've always been present, you see. Even when you were a kid, you were actually present. You were always in presence. And then there was just kind of this learned way that you were taught not to be in presence, but you were always doing it. So you're just remembering, oh yeah, that's what I've always been doing. That's what I've always been doing. I was always doing that. And you go start to remember this stuff. So what you'll notice is when you were a kid, there's times where you were kind of just like spacing out. You were just like, if you look at kids, there's times where they're just kind of like spacing out. They're not thinking in those states. They're just kind of spacing out, staring into something. And we've had an idea that, oh, if you're spacing out, you're doing something wrong. But you're not. So we're learning how to space out again. We're learning how to do that. Because the more time that our mind-body system spends in the space, without thinking and just spacing out in the space, the more power and the more energy we have. The more clarity we have. The more spaciousness we have. So you could be doing anything and just feeling spacing out. Like just space out where you're just like disengage. And if you get really good at this, you'll start to notice that you can be spacing out and there could be kind of these subtle thoughts kind of feeling like they're going by. But you're feeling like you're spaced out. You're not actually listening to any of them. And you actually are the space. And those thoughts are kind of just actually what they're doing is they're healing out of your mind-body system. They're kind of clearing because you're being in presence. You're feeling yourself as presence. And you're in the space. So the thoughts are just kind of going by these kind of subtle feelings. Thoughts might be coming by in front of you and you're just spacing out. And what's happening is the mind-body system is actually releasing those subconscious beliefs because you're in presence. But sometimes the mind will get an idea and it'll be like, oh no, there's a thought, and it hears something that was just actually happening in front of you because you were spaced out and there was just kind of this sense of like you could feel an energy kind of moving, but you weren't identifying with it. You weren't engaging in it. You weren't believing that those meant anything. You weren't having ideas about those things. You were just being the space. You were spaced out. We want to tap into that more. We want to have more space. We want to have more space. Because as you get more space in your mind-body system, then you become a clearer channel for powerful information. You can tune into anything, any information you'd ever want to know in the whole universe. You have the ability to access it when you have a lot of space. So there's a healing process that's happening with the mind-body system so that you can have more space. So I want to answer some of these questions. Who pays attention? See, this is what I want to show you. Is you think there's an imagination in the mind that you are just that mind, and the mind is the only thing that can see things and pay attention. But that's where the confusion has come in. Because like I was sharing, I shared this yesterday. So like there's the mind right here. Okay, so this is the mind. And you are the space of everything, of all of existence. And that little mind is within you. And that space of all of existence, the mind believes there's nothing there, but you don't understand what source energy is. That's what you are, your source energy. You don't need a little mind to be talking for you to know all of existence and to see everything. And so what I want to show you is that what you will realize is that you are in the space. Like literally, like imagine there's like a bazillion eyeballs in all of existence. Everything that you can perceive right now, there's a bazillion eyeballs, and they're all your eyeballs. They are there. They're like you can't see them, But there's like a bazillion of them, infinite eyeballs in the space of everything you're perceiving right now. And you are in those eyeballs looking at your person from every different angle. You're seeing every perspective of your person from every possible angle in every single moment. There is an awareness. So that's why it said awareness, aware of awareness. Because what that practice, awareness, aware of awareness, what it is, it's the awareness of the mind. The mind has an awareness. It does. The mind has an awareness. But the mind's awareness has not been seeing you. You have always been seeing the mind's awareness, but you haven't been believing it because you've been on a focus and an imagination. All your consciousness was kind of focused here to just being on the mind and just believing, oh, I'm just this mind, and this is only the awareness that I have is in the mind. That's the only sense of awareness I have is in the mind. The mind believes that. That's part of the imagination. That's a big part of the imagination. Big part. But it's never been true. And every single moment, whether your mind believes it or not, you are actually seeing it. There's eyeballs. You're in the eyeballs. Like there's little eyeballs right here. Okay, I want you to imagine there's like eyeballs you can't see in every single place. And that's where you are. You're in every single thing. There's an awareness there that's seeing every single thing that's in existence. Because it's all one thing that you are. So we're trying to connect with that part of ourself that is actually what you actually are outside of the mind. The mind just is like having an awareness of like, oh, there's a thought, there's a thought, there's a thought, there's a thought, there's a thought. And that's all the mind can know. It's so focused on thoughts. It's so focused on that. Because that's all it thinks that exists. It's like, no, there's just these thoughts and that's how I know anything. If I don't have thoughts, I don't know anything. That's the imagination of a person. That's the core of it. That's what it is. That's never been what you were, though. Ever. Never, never, never. You were never that. You were in a dream. You were in a dream imagination that you were a person. That's the truth. And you will have these realizations where you will experience this the longer that you stay in the space. And so I don't want you to have another belief. I want you to feel this because your whole life will change when you feel this. And the way to feel it is you have to actually unhook your consciousness from the mind and all of your consciousness being focused on the mind and its thoughts and realize. And how you do it is every time a thought comes up, just realize, oh, I'm the silence underneath that thought. Every time a thought comes up, if you kept realizing I'm the silence underneath it, every single time just keep realizing I'm seeing that. I'm the one seeing that. I'm the silence seeing that. Then you start to get that space and you'll start to unhook your consciousness from these thoughts and from the mind. And so the mind will think that doesn't mean anything. Oh, whatever, I'm seeing it, so what? That doesn't mean anything. That's what the mind will say because it wants to keep you in the imagination. But the truth will be revealed to you in the most powerful, profound way the longer you stay in the space. The longer you stay not identifying with these thoughts and realizing I'm the silence underneath the thought, I'm seeing that. The longer and more consistent you do that, the sooner you will have profound realizations. Profound realizations, they don't come through thinking. They come through being in the space. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it's a remembrance. You realize yourself. You realize something profound. And it shifts you forever. Can't be the same after you have these realizations. And so what we're trying to do is I'm trying to help you guys get into feeling everything so you can enjoy staying in the space throughout your day more and more and more, and feeling the space consistently throughout your day more and more and more, because that's what you need to do so you can start having these realizations. And they could be like little realizations, like all of a sudden just a sense, like all of a sudden you get like this sense and something starts to feel a little blissful, or you start to like, oh my God, you start to really feel the truth of what I'm saying, that everything is an imagination. You just would get a sense of that, and it's quite blissful when you do. You'll start laughing probably. Or it could be shocking. It could be like, oh my God, one or the other. But we're trying to get more of these little mini realizations into your experience so that you can have a profound big realization, and then your mind can stop doing all of these little tricks. So yeah, that's what I want to get you guys out of these words. Okay, these words mean nothing. Words, this is part of the imagination. We kind of came up with this whole imagination of like, even this words. Okay, we came up with these imaginations of how to create an experience of a person that goes a whole creative, it's so creative. When you actually see outside of it, you're like, wow, this world is so profound, what we created with our imagination. To like even perceive that you're a person and how it's perceived so conceptually with thoughts and like stories and no, I understand, I have a logical explanation for understanding, and I have 10-page reports and I know all of these things. That is so conceptual. That is the person mind. That's the core of it. That's how it perceives things, and that's not where your power is. Your power is through realizing that you are experiencing everything vibrationally, because source energy, your source energy is all frequencies, all vibrations. So when you start to experience everything like that and stop believing that any thought means anything and just started to actually experience, well, how does it feel? What's the frequency of it? And that I'm creating that as an imagination. You get all your power back. Get all your power back. So the words are just giving you a felt sense of something. And so that's why you can't hook onto these words. Just that's why when I'm speaking, I want you just to let these words, they're not actually words. Just feel everything as energy. Don't try to understand it. You already know everything. This isn't a separate person talking to you. This is you talking to yourself. This is you talking to yourself, trying to unhook all these thoughts and ideas out of your mind-body system so you can feel the truth of what you are. Can wake up from that dream. So the mind will keep trying to figure it out, and that's part of the illusion. That's part of the imagination. You don't need to figure it out. The more that it keeps trying to figure it out, the more that it's trying to keep your consciousness stuck in the game of mind and the whole dream of being a person. And that's a perfect exploration. But when you're done with that and you really want your absolute power, you have to get out of that and just, it doesn't matter if you understand or you don't understand. Because the thing that's trying to figure it out is trying to create an illusion. And the realizations will never happen through figuring it out. So it's almost like, if you have questions, I want you guys to ask questions. But when my journey, I just kind of realized I had to let go of all of these questions too. Because the part that was the thing that's trying to question everything, also at some point you have to realize you have to let go of the question, because that's the mind still trying to keep an illusion that you actually aren't what you are. That you're seeking to get something. You're seeking to realize yourself. And it just keeps, well, did I realize myself yet? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Did myself realize? Did I get something? It keeps talking. And the realizations won't come through those talking. Because the realization will just come and it's instant profound shift. It's just like, oh my God. And the mind just will stop. And you just instantly know something, not through ever thinking about it. It comes from the space of no thinking, no figuring it out. But the mind will never understand that. So there's just a trust. That's what it comes. There's a trust that you have to feel of the truth of what these words are saying to your hearing right now. You have to feel that truth through your heart, that you already know this. What I'm sharing is your truth. You already know that. So you want to experience it, and you're willing to let the mind stop figuring it out and just be what you are, so that the realization can actually come through for you from the space of presence, where there is no thoughts or ideas about it. It will feel like to the mind, I don't know anything about anything. And that's a perfect place for you to be. That is actually so much closer to the truth for the mind than anything. And then when realizations happen, they happen instantly. And then there's this instant knowing. It's an instant knowing. And then we talk about it. And then the minds try to create more concepts about it and try to box it in again. But we're trying to get out of that altogether. We're trying to irreversibly realize ourselves, so that these thoughts can cease to arise in the same way and create that kind of confusion. You don't know anything. Be okay with that. Be okay with not knowing anything about anything. It's okay. The mind can never know. The best thing we can do is get the mind to stop, and then you just feel the truth of what you are through a deep realization. I love that, Annie Chin. She said she's creating a family who's laughing really loud in the other room. I love that. And you can just start to feel things, like feel it vibrationally, feel things. I want you guys to tap into this power that we have, because your whole power is vibrational. That's how you work as source energy. You work as a vibrational being. So you have to start experiencing everything as an imagination of vibrations. It's energy. It's just a big energy field of you. So start to close your eyes. It helps to close your eyes initially, because then that kind of pulls, the mind has a lot of ideas sometimes when the eyes are open, of like, oh, this means this, oh, I just saw that, that's this, that's this, that's this. It automatically, because the eyes are like kind of hooked to the brain. So then the brain has all these files. And so it starts making these associations, and sometimes immediately through just seeing things visually. So sometimes it can help to just to get out of seeing things, and so you can actually feel things. Feel it like you're feeling it for the first time ever. So experiment with this, you guys, and I want you to share in the group if you know your experiences and how you're accessing yourself as presence, how you're feeling yourself throughout your day, like what your inspirations are, how your different access points are. Inspire us. We want to hear the creative ways that you're experiencing things and you're feeling things. We need to hear it. We need to feel it. We need to experience all the different access points that we can feel, how we can access this reality in a totally new way. Like kids, like we're just here as kids. We just arrived here, and we just popped onto this planet, and we're like, oh, what is this? We want to go back to that. Like we don't know anything about anything, and just feel it all. Like we're here for the first time, because all those old ideas about what you thought this world was were all an imagination that were coming from a stage of consciousness that are so far from the truth. So we have to let them go, so we can actually start to feel our core frequency again, which is profound bliss. Profound bliss for just existing, for just being here and being able to have an experience of imagination like this all together, for being able to create something like this all together. How profound it is. That's what we're tapping back into. That's the core of what you are. You can take deep breaths and just keep softening into your heart, so you can start to feel presence when the mind is coming up with too many thoughts and they feel like it's just pulling you. So you want to and drop in and feel your heart. That'll anchor you into presence, into a deeper state. If you're noticing there's a lot of thoughts coming up again and again, you want to anchor first into the heart, because the heart feels everything vibrationally. So we want to have you anchored here, so then you start to actually explore this experience, through these deep states of presence or awareness, through vibrationally, through feeling everything, how source energy is, that you are, feels everything. I love you guys so much. It's so good to connect with you. I'm so happy to be on this journey together and be sharing and connecting with each other in this way. I'll see you tomorrow for day 2. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.